Hey everyone, if you are clicking on this video, it is because you are looking for info on Global Go Fest. In particular, should there be certain Pokemon that you should focus on if you want to bolster your GBL slash PvP sort of base? And the answer is yes, I do this every year. I look over all the Pokemon that are in the different spawns and say which one you should focus on from a GBL perspective. And if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button and you'll get top teams and a lot of strong teams for GBL every single day, multiple times a day. But let's go over the habitats. So there are 4 habitats, and there's a couple things I want to talk about with the habitats. So for those of you who are new, if this is your first Global Go Fest, 1, they're lots of fun, lots of grinding. You feel like you want to do everything. Just remember to hydrate, just remember to eat, stuff like that. So the habitats, what I really like, what I love about Saturday is the habitats come up twice. So the first one, Dawn Meadow, will come up at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. The Shining Day will come at 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock. The Creeping Dusk will come at 12 and 4. And the Darkest Night will come at 1 and 5. So you have 2 chances for these habitats. Now, I'm going to go over the lists and talk about which Pokemon you need to focus on GBL. Last year, there's an and more in there. And so what does and more mean? So for sure, and more probably means the unknowns. But last year, each habitat had 2 special spawns. And those were like region locked Pokemon. So I don't know if it was for sure last year, it was Pachirisu and Carvana, I think. But we've also had Tropius and stuff like that. So it's usually region locked specific Pokemon. So that could potentially be the and more, but we haven't heard any other updates from it. So don't know what and more means yet, but we do know what these Pokemon look like from a GBL perspective. So there is your first evolution of everything on here. Now it depends on how long you've been playing this game, because if you've been playing this game I've been playing since 2018. Not only do I have every on one of these Pokemon, I got everyone from the community days that matter, and I've got multiple versions of Pidgey with Wing Attack and Gust and yada. So I've been playing for a while. If you're newer, or you're just starting to create your roster, what should you be focusing on? So I'm going to break it down. I'm going to go over kind of each Pokemon and go over Great League, Ultra League, Master League. Let's just start with Pidgey, because Pidgey into Pidgeot will be great in the Ultra League. I think it's like one of the best flyers in Ultra League, if not the best flyer in Ultra League, just because it is very bulky. You need to get it to level 50. So you need a hundo and you need all the excels. So you need tons of Pidgeys, but Pidgeot, it needs a legacy move, Wing Attack. So you have to fast TM that, elite TM that. But it is very, very strong just with the Brave Bird Feather Dance combo for the charge move. It is very, very strong. Has a little play in the Great League sometimes. More limited metas in the Great League. It has some play, but outside of that, I think mostly you want to focus on Ultra League. Hoot got was Noctowl. And Noctowl was the main flying Pokemon in the Great League for like 3 or 4 seasons, and then there was a direct nerf on it. It went after Niantic went after Sky Attack and nerfed Sky Attack, so now Noctowl is not really usable. Will they forever be down? You know, I've seen Niantic nerf and unnerf moves. In particular, they nerfed Bubble back in the day just to buff it up again this past season. They nerfed it because Azumarill was too strong, and then they rebuffed it recently to buff up Bubble, and now Azumarill is even stronger again. So could they theoretically bring Noctowl back? Yeah, and it's such a strong Pokemon. I think that is worth grabbing one. So look for the Hoots to get your Noctowl. There's 3 community Pokemon on here: Hoppip, Snivy, and Axew. All 3 of those have had community days. The only 2 that are sort of relevant, Axew, get a Haxorus with Breaking. Well, again, you need Breaking Swipe on it, which is a community day move, so you may need to elite TM that, or they may bring it back like for one of those special days. But grab the Axews if you haven't had the community day yet. Breaking Swipe is strong, has some play, and also that's the thing. Breaking Swipe got nerfed, so it had more play in the sort of Ultra League and Master League, but then it got nerfed, so it's kind of disappeared in all of them. But I would still go after that. Hoppip goes into Jumpluff again with Acrobatics, a community day move. You It is a kind of interesting Pokemon. It's bulky and hits really hard. Flying Grass is kind of a tricky typing in the Great League right now, especially with all the flyers. But I think it is worth grabbing one of those. Giraffe's an interesting one. I'm trying to think whether you need one that's a non-shadow. I would go after Giraffe. Giraffe has been extremely strong. It was very strong in the limited meta that we had a few weeks ago. I've been using the Shadow Giraffe, and the Shadow Giraffe with the confusion really adds up. So I would definitely get some Girafarig. I call it Giraffe because Girafarig is its full name. Wingull is Pelipper. And Pelipper was, again, one of the top flying Pokemon at one point. A little less so now, but if you don't have a good Pelipper yet, definitely go over for the Great League. There's a couple on here, Cottony and Ducklet, that I would grab for Little Cups. So grab a few of those for Little Cups. Ferroseed into Ferrothorn. So Ferrothorn is very good in the Great League. Has some play in the Ultra League as well, so grab a few of those. Galarian Stunfisk, obviously Registeel is the better one. So if you have Registeel, you don't really need Galarian Stunfisk. If you don't have a good Registeel, Galarian Stunfisk is a great swap in its place. So Galarian Stunfisk if you don't want to use Reggie, or if like legendaries and mythicals and all those are banned, like in a Premier Cup, then Galarian Stunfisk is a direct replacement for Registeel. It's a great replacement. Heatmore, no. Inkay, yeah, it has, the evolution does have a bit of play in limited. Malamar has a bit of play in limited cups, but it's not super strong, but it does have some play. So if we're keeping score at home, I basically said grab all of these. If I had to get like a top 3 Pokemon that I think are like truly the best for the leagues, I would say Pidgeot in the Ultra League is number 1. I would go Ferrothorn, so Ferroseed, the evolution, Ferrothorn as number 2 in the Great League, and then either Pelipper or Galarian Stunfisk as your sort of third Pokemon that you want to focus on. Pelipper for the Great League, Galarian Stunfisk for the Great League and Ultra League. That brings us to the Shining Day. And again, we're seeing some interesting Pokemon on this list. And let me just cover Jangmo-o right away. So Jangmo is the dragon that this time around is getting its shiny release, which if we now follow tradition, assuming Niantic doesn't go back on tradition like they did with the XL trades, Jangmo-o will be the Dragon Community Pokemon in next June. So you can go after Jangmo-o, you can go after the shiny. Just know that Jangmo-o will be the June Community Pokemon next June. So if you want to just like try and find that hundo and try and find those XLs so you don't really need to play in Community Day next June, great. If you miss it, if you want to focus on other Pokemon because you want to leave that for later, that's fine too. Speaking about Community Day moves, Charmander and Dratini may have had a combined maybe like 9 Community Days since I've started. So Charizard with Wing Attack and Blast Burn, very, very strong, Great League and Ultra League. Dragonair in the Great League, Dragonite meta some lay a little but Dragonite in the Ultra League and Master League is a must. So yes, if you do not have your Charmanders and Dratinis yet, definitely 100% go after those. As I look at the rest of this list, you know, there's nothing that really jumps out at me. Now I have the Housian Sneasel's an interesting one. I would grab a few of those because they were very, very, very difficult to get under 1500. So the Sneasler was like almost impossible to get in the Great League. So I would grab a couple of those if you see those around for a Great League play. Dunsparce is an interesting one. There's so many other better normal Pokemon in the Great League at this point, between Lickitung and Greedent and Double, and there's so many other normal typings. Vigoroth. There's so many other normal typings that I've used before Dunsparce, so I'm probably not going to focus on it. Fomantis into Lurantis, really, really, really fun Pokemon to play in the Great League, Ultra League. Unfortunately, like as a grass Pokemon, again, grass kind of has its own limitations in GBL, so it's not as strong. Dedenne is garbage. Sorry, Ryan Swag. And then the rest of them are not. Roselia, again, a community Pokemon. This is what, okay, I'll just rant in 1 second after I finish this thought. Roserade got a community move. with Weather Ball, a fire type move. So it was it's used in limited cups. But if we go back to, before we go into the Creeping Dusk, actually, let me just finalize this and then we'll do final thoughts. So again, Charmander, Dratini, and honestly, Jangmo-O, and then the Sneasel. For those keeping score at home, and I get that not everyone is starting 6 years ago, but for someone who has, and a lot of people have been around for years now, we are now looking at Hoppip, Snivy, Axew, that's 3, Charmander, Dratini, Roselia. We're looking at 6 Pokemon in 2 habitats that have already had community days. Some of them multiple community days. And Jangmo will have a community day. So that's 7 Pokemon in 2 things that have already had community days. Which is like almost like, yeah, community days are pretty much guaranteed shinies. So if you're a shiny hunter, you probably have all those. Which I guess makes it easier. You can just hunt for the other shinies, right? If you're a shiny hunter. But again, for those of us who've been playing for a while, this is not an exciting... These habitats are not exciting. So I'm hoping the and more, like I said, we'll grab a couple more in the near future here. As we go to the third one, again, Grubbin, yeah, is a great one to get if you don't have it, because Charjabug is incredible in the Great League right now. But had a community day. Litwick had a community day. Not worth getting. Gible has had a community day. Earth Power Garchomp, worth getting if you don't have it yet. But again, Eevee with Umbreon and probably other Pokemon community day. So we got another 4 on this list that have had community days already. Like what is happening now? I think, like, why are so many Pokemon that have already had shinies and already had community days on these lists? Okay, sorry, GBL perspective. Grubbin, get a Charjabug for Great League. It is top tier at this point. Phantom, Trevenant is definitely on the rebound there, so I would grab one of those for Great League and one of those for Ultra League. If you don't have Garchomp yet with Earth Power, it is a Master League sort of, especially Premier must. Eevee, try and get that Hundo Umbreon for Ultra League. Otherwise, Umbreon as well in the Great League. That's kind of the only evolution that you need to worry about from a GBL perspective. And the last one, how many community days are on this one? Let's see. Teddy had one. Mudkip had one. Dino had one. So 3. Again, another 3 on this list. So if you don't have a Dino, to get... what was the community day move? I forget. But yeah, definitely get the dragon. Whenever you see a dragon, get the dragon, right? That's kind of like your go-to rule, especially in GBL. Mudkip, again, Swampert. Swampert is an interesting because Swampert dominated GBL for 17 seasons and has now taken a huge back seat to Quagsire and Whiscash. So yes, you should get a Mudkip. Yes, you should try and get the Swampert with Hydro Cannon, but it has taken such a back seat. In terms of other Pokemon that are useful, Gligar is one of the top Great League meta Pokemon. So grab Gligar, and Gliscor in the Ultra League definitely has place, so grab a bunch of those, one of each. Carbink, Carbink's an interesting one because Carbink rose to the top of the meta, only to be shut down by all these mud boys out there that I just mentioned. Swampert, Quagsire, Whiscash, everywhere, right? So really tough. Plus it can't do well against steals, and there's steals everywhere too. So it's kind of a tricky one. Like, I would go for it just based on its rarity. It doesn't even have a shiny, right? The shiny has not been released. It looks like everything else on here has the shiny beside it. So that's how kind of newer it is. So I would expect you probably don't have those, and you need a lot of XL. So I would go after Carpink as well. And then Amora into Aurorus. Aurorus is one of those where, like, I love it and I hate it. It was like being able to like hit some stuff with Meteor Beam and then have your attack boost and this Weather Ball it is a really cool combo. Its typing is bad. Its typing is bad for its ice and rock. So you pick up double weak to fighting, weak to ground, weak to water, there's like 6 weak to grass. Like there's like 6 weaknesses with it, which is really its limitation. This list honestly looks like This looks like what I'm going to eat, honestly. From a GBL perspective, again, Gligar, Carbink, Mudkip, if you don't have those, Dino, if you don't have those, go for them. But this is looking like an eating one. Actually, again, for me, they're all looking like, which is great because for those of you who've been watching this channel forever, or at least in the last week, I went to New York O Fest. My legs are still burning. This is actually, again, I'm not a shiny hunter, but this is actually looking more like a shiny hunter thing for me than anything because I have all these Pokemon. No, I'm not seeing any unique Pokemon unless I'm missing it. We're going to go down and see if there's a specialty thing. Raids. 1-star raids. Again, looking for shinies here. Looking for a specific SP. I'm wearing a scarf if you care about the scarves. Okay, so there's really only for GBL. 3. Buzzle for the Ultra League. A little bit of Great League, mostly Ultra League. Guzzlord, Great League and Ultra League. Necrozma, Master League. Those are the 3 that you need to focus on here. I would also go after Cortana if you want a Razor Leafer for Raiders. Because I think it's the best grass Raider out there. So Cortana for raiding. The rest of them don't really have much play. Now, Sunday, that's all Saturday. Sunday, there's all those Pokemon, but not the slots. So it's just going to be all the Pokemon all the time. Now, that makes it very, very difficult to know if let me just put it this way. If you're looking for a specific Pokemon in this list, hunt it during the habitat, and then everything you don't get and you want to try again, then you can try it in the open tomorrow. But if you're really focusing on a Pokemon, like if you really want a good Ferroseed to get a Ferrothorn, focus hard on the Dawn Meadow 10 and 2 because you don't know how often it's going to pop up on the Sunday because it's not set time zones. It's just wide open. Bonuses, again, no limit to raid passes, lure modules, yada yada yada, avatars, Sun and Crown, don't care, stickers, don't care, party play, t-shirts, ticket holder exclusives. Oh, okay, so maybe get some ticket holder. Okay, sorry, it's going to be down here. Yeah, there they are. Okay, someone probably already pointed that out. Ticket holder exclusives. So that was actually just for anyone can get any of those. Now, mostly shinies are going to be hidden behind locked. You have, like, if you get a ticket, you'll get more shinies. That's just an obvious. Marsh Shadow. You got to do a special research for it to get it. On Saturday, ticket holders will be able to complete exclusive research to get this Pokemon and have an opportunity to encounter one. On Sunday, ticket holders will also receive additional special research focused on Necrozma. So if you don't want to raid, it's there. Okay, here is the incense. There's these. So it's only one. Oh, and these are not great. Okay. A couple of these are region exclusive. So all the unknowns, right? The incense gets you the unknowns. I can't believe Vullaby's in one because Vullaby has been around forever. Again, it's good to have for Great League and Ultra League. Manabuzz is great, not Great League and Ultra League, but like it's been around forever. Rockruff, mostly hidden behind eggs. So if from an incense, getting more of those is good. Again, doesn't really have a ton of play. And then we were looking at Corsola and Maractus as sort of region lock Pokemon, but not really good in either league. So unfortunately, the incense not coming through like they have in the past, like Pachirisu and stuff like that, like the Tropius, those were ones you wanted. Yeah, so bonus, increased chance of shiny, 6 special trades, up to 9 free raid passes. So you can just do a ton raid, special summon common raids, 2 times friendship bonus. Yeah, you need to purchase a ticket, yada yada yada. On Sunday, so Necrozma has 2 forms, Dusk Mane and Dawn Wings. So on the Saturday, you can just do the Necrozma raids. On Sunday, you need to Adventure through the special research story during your city session. Okay, so that's, sorry. The city session was from, I think, the in-persons. But you need fusion energy. So there's lunar fusion energy and solar fusion energy. Trainers with an active Pokemon Go Fest ticket will be able to participate in special research that will give you some of this energy. And then I believe you will also get some from raids on Sunday, because that is what it said up here. Where did it say it? I know I just saw that. Here. Fusion comes to Pokemon Go. Duskmane Necrozma and Dawn Wings Necrozma will make their worldwide Pokemon Go debut in this, and then so it said fusions come. So I think that they said you can only get the fusions in the raids or through these activities, but I'm pretty sure you're getting them through the raids on Sunday. Yeah, so yes, because okay, that's why. Necrozma is going to be in the raids on Saturday. So you can get Necrozma and Necrozma Candy and XL Candy on the Saturday. But on Sunday, it is Duskmane Necrozma and Dawn Wings Necrozma that are going to be in raids. So that's the first time they're in raids. And from theirs wins, you're going to get fusion energy. So it's going to be similar to when Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre were in raids, where you did the raids of them. The catch reverted back to Kyogre and Groudon. So same thing. If you catch Duskmane Necrozma, if you catch Dawn Wings Necrozma, it's going to revert back to Necrozma, but you will get the fusion candy here that associates with the one you did. Just like Primal Groudon, you got the Primal Groudon candy. Primal Kyogre, you got the Primal Kyogre candy. And that's like basically what's going to happen here on the Sunday. So final thoughts as we get into this. I kind of already went over my final thoughts. We're looking at for what is 14 to 15 spawns, 14 in each, 13 here, so 27 plus 14 is 41, 53, 54, 54 global Go Fest spawns. What I say, about 12, 13. We're looking at almost a fourth that have had community days already. And that is shocking to me that they would do that, because Global Go Fest has always been about getting you a lot of opportunities for either new Pokemon that you don't really have, Pokemon that are rare to get, that you don't have a lot of, that you want to try and get a lot of, getting some access to regional exclusives, and getting you a bunch of new shinies. And what I'm saying, and I'm sure some of these are new shinies. Again, I'm not a shiny hunter, so there's other content creators that have already gone over the top new shinies to get. So I'm not going to cover that. But it just seems like this is the first Global Go Fest in years that I'm like, meh. Like in past years, I have been so pumped. I've gone like 8 hours each day. And this is the first one I'm just like, I don't even know what I'm going to grind for, quite honestly. Like, again, so you can, this is just the rant part of my thing. So you can leave if you are not used to this, but think of this from from my perspective. Again, there's a lot of people who are shiny hunters, so they will get new Pokemon and they will go hard for the shinies, and that 100% will make this ticket worth it. But as someone who's not a shiny hunter, who's been around for 6 years now, there is not one new Pokemon on this list for me here. Again, Hisuian Sneasel was tough to get below Great League, so yes, maybe you're going to hunt for those for Great League. So this is the first one I'm like, okay, I can get some good Great League one. Jangma O's have been pretty, I know it's going to get a community day, but it's been pretty rare up until now. so I can get a bunch of those. Okay. Second one's looking pretty good. First one's looking terrible for me because I've got absolutely everything here. Second one, okay. I can see some stuff in the second one. Third one, again, not a lot of stuff here, even meta relevant. The Volbeat and Illumise were around last year too. So that's just a repeat from last year. So third one's not looking like it's anything for me. And the fourth one, like, again, unless you're trying to get like specific Pokemon that you missed, I've got all these too. So I don't know how much I'm actually going to grind this event. And again, I just grinded the heck out of GoFest New York. I think I may focus my time on like raids. I think I'm becoming a shiny hunter this weekend is essentially what I'm thinking. Because there's not a lot from a GBL perspective that I would need from these at all. But again, I'm older. So if you're newer, this could be an okay event to bolster up your roster a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, I'll probably vlog. Not off Poke Daxi's cool camera because he got that back, but I'll just use my phone and the microphone. It worked pretty well. So I will do that and showcase that on... Maybe I'll do a day each of them. Maybe I'll do Saturday and Sunday. We'll see. Anyways, that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you're hunting for. If you think there's anything big I missed or what's going on there. So that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.